everybody. Today's video is going to be a little different because I want to talk to you about my weight loss journey. And it's been 10 years that I've been diagnosed with thyroid and PCOS, and of course with both of these, shedding fat or achieving weight loss can be tremendously challenging. And I've probably done it for n number of times in the last few years, and it's been an off and on cycle, but I know now that it's truly achievable. I will dive into it straight up, but of course I'm not a doctor. This is something that has worked out for me, so I would advise you to sort of curate it for yourself. So the video is broken down into 3 parts. The first thing I want to share is why at all I want to lose weight. 2, what are the ways that I've consistently done to lose this 15 kilos over 1 year's time, and 3, why is it that I gained it back and what I'm doing currently to get back to my previous state. Coming to the first component of the video is why I want to lose the weight. When you have around 25-30 kgs extra carrying around with you all the time, you tend to develop ankle pain, knee pain, back pain, etc. It hampers your mental ability, you get brain fog, and it just limits your ability to go for adventurous sports, hiking, and just the ability to enjoy your life overall. If you really want to do 100 things in your life, just because of your weight, you may not be able to pursue all of them. And of course, from a long-term perspective, this definitely is going to invite a lot of complications in life in terms of health. And when you're young, you really want to wear the right kind of clothes, you want to go out partying, you want to look great when you look at yourself in the mirror. So all of this cumulative is why I wanted to shed all of my weight. Of course, the final push through came when my fiance and we decided to get married, and that's when I really gave it a serious thought that okay, this is going to be the last time that I'm going to attempt losing weight, and let's see how it goes. So that was my motivation on why I wanted to lose weight. And I think during the whole process, trying to find your why is super critical, because to give you the kickstart, you need to have a strong enough why. Of course, it's discipline that's going to get you through the whole process, but initially for that spark plug to ignite your sort of enthusiasm, you need a very, very strong why. So look inside you and figure out really why you want to do this, and find that really special North Star, and then go for it. So when I started my journey, I was around 85 kgs, and according to my height and the BMI requirements, I ideally should be 55 kilos, which means that I was around 30 kgs overweight, and I wasn't very confident on achieving that 30 kilos in 1 year. So I decided to target 20 kgs in 12 months, and I wanted to do it in a gradual manner so that my health is not affected with sudden weight loss. Of course, overall I managed to shed 15 kilos. So let's see how we did it. So number 1 is, I think, getting your basics right. 2 factors in this. One is sleep and water intake. Separately, if you see them, sleep is something that is super, super critical, because when you wake up, you need to feel refreshed and energetic. You want to be able to exercise every day. You want to go out for walks. You want to keep yourself active to be able to pursue whatever you think will get you to your weight loss goal. So sleep is critical. Also, I realized that when I did not sleep well, I was inclined towards really bad food choices. So I would crave sugar, I would crave fried food. So I realized that getting good sleep meant that I would have all the right food in the right proportion, etc., etc. So sleep really gave a sort of mental clarity on how I had to align my actions to what I wanted to achieve. The second thing is H2O, that is water intake. So I had 3 to 4 liters of water every single day. and that helped tremendously in making sure that I did not feel hungry at odd hours, and I was not interpreting the need for water for food. So typically what happens when we are feeling thirsty, our brain interprets it as we are feeling hungry. So I made sure that I kept myself hydrated enough so my brain would give signals only for food and not for water. The second thing that I did is that I always wanted to start the day properly. So starting the day with the right intentions and the right actions really set the tone right for the rest of the day. So the way I would do it is that I would wake up and start with a warm drink. So what I would drink was warm water with jeera seeds, turmeric powder, chia seeds, a little bit of lime, and I would sip it sitting on my sofa looking outside the window, and I think that really gave a great start to the day. Of course, you could improvise on this. You could put saffron, you could put a little bit of ginger, etc. But this is something that worked well for me, and because I would have my breakfast 1 hour after waking up, I think this was sufficient to keep me full during this 1 hour. The third thing for me, what I understood is that calories are important. After all, it's as simple as calories in and calories out, but you have to be smart about it. Because I have PCOS, sugar is a super no-no. So what I have understood from a lot of Google research that I did is that compared to normal folks, if I have, say, unit 1 of sugar, it would give me a level, say, 100 spike, whereas for somebody else who does not have PCOS or other sort of complications, if they have 1 unit of sugar, it would give them, say, only like a level 30 or level 40 of sugar spike. So this sugar spike in turn would sort of convert that sugar into fat very quickly in my body, which meant that sugar is a complete no-no. But if you want to convert it into like an overarching principle, it just means that do not have food which are nutrient dense and low in volume. So essentially it could be fried food, sugar. These two things are some things that we occasionally have. Some folks will have it on a daily basis. So you need to cut these out and go for high volume, less calorie products. So it could be cucumber, carrots, millets. Try incorporating things and keep it as a general principle. It should help. Like a lot of us tend to get very overworked on what exactly we will have for every meal. But if you keep this as a general principle, it would help you to make better decisions. The fourth pointer is portion control. This essentially does not mean that you have to starve. I have never starved myself. So make sure that you understand when your body is feeling hungry. So understanding your pattern is very important. For example, me, I feel hungry 7 times a day. Essentially breakfast, snack time, lunch, afternoon, evening, and then night. So and I really need to feed myself during these times. So I realized that portion control is super important, and I would balance out, say if I have nuts during snack time, I would have it with fruits. So they're healthy food but a little bit less in proportion. So even say when you're having lunch, have millets, cucumber, carrots, 1 sabzi, and maybe 2 egg whites. So and say suppose take 75% or 80% of what you think you can eat, and how you can sort of still feel really full is 2 ways. First is before the meal, you can prep yourself by having a lot of salads, or you can have sprouted methi seeds. That used to really help with the fact that even if I wanted to have a little bit more, I knew my probably blood sugar would be regulated, so I would have sprouted methi seeds. And after lunch or after the major meal, I would have like a tall glass of buttermilk. So that essentially would keep me really full. So I would have buttermilk or water with flaxseed powder. So you need to find ways to make yourself feel full after every meal, so that satiety is absolutely there and you don't finish your meal thinking that you're starving yourself or you're not feeling full, that can really affect you in the long term, because you're going to do it for a few months and you can't be feeling that you're starving your body or not giving your body enough food or nutrition. So make sure that you do feel full, but in various ways. The fifth pointer is your dinner time. You must have heard a lot about intermittent fasting, etc. I realized now that I'm looking back, I think I may have done intermittent fasting, but without knowing. So essentially what I would do is I would have dinner by max 7 p.m. and I would feel a little hungry towards say 10 p.m. 11 p.m. and I would have very diluted buttermilk or almond milk, and that really did wonders, because the next day in the morning I would again have breakfast at 8:39. So if you look at it, having breakfast at 7 o'clock, which means around say 4-5 hours on that day and another 8-9 hours on the next day. So usually it would be say 12 to 14 hours of gap between the two meals. So unknowingly I did intermittent fasting and I would feel super fresh in the morning because I had a heavy meal much before my sleep time, and I would usually get some movement before sleeping, so I would not get up bloated, etc. That also helped a lot with digestive issues, if at all. So I think having dinner time early really worked well. So the way I used to make buttermilk and still do is take a little bit of yogurt, water, dried garlic, coriander, chili flakes, salt, and roasted jeera powder. It's so delicious. You not only for dinner time, you would probably have it even between meals, after meals, anytime, and if you keep it in the fridge, it's even better. The sixth point is incorporating movement. Now this is really critical because a lot of us have desk jobs, and especially me, I would tend to sit at my desk for 3-4 hours at a stretch, and my boss used to sit beside me, so all the more I used to be hesitant about getting up from my seat. But then I realized it's just harming me, so what I would do is every 1.5 hours or 1 hour I would just get up and walk outside the office space or on the ground floor just for 10 minutes. I think that should be enough. So just make sure that you set an alarm so that you incorporate these movements throughout the day. So even if you're not sort of super serious about doing your 10k steps or 5k steps, throughout the day you will have these movements incorporated. The second thing is try and go for a walk after every meal. I think that is something that has also helped me incorporate more movement. Usually we will eat a heavy meal or a meal and just sit down and relax or grab some dessert. Instead of that, just go to your terrace, go down. If you're in office, take a walk with your colleagues. What I understood from Google is that it helps with digestion and helps with your blood sugar level, and it has a lot of other benefits. So I did that very religiously, and I think without even counting my steps, I got in a lot of extra calorie burn. Number 7 is exercise. I think a lot of us fret too much about exercise, and we think that we have to work out a lot, we have to burn at least 400-500 calories a day. No, just start with whatever you are comfortable with. I was so overweight that I could not really go to the gym or work out too much. A 10-15 minute workout would make me really exhausted, so I just started with going for walking. I used to walk for 30-40 minutes while listening to a podcast or music, and that really set up a momentum, and I love to go for walks in the park or say outside my society. So try whatever you think is okay. You can just start off with doing 10 squats a day or 10 Surya Namaskars a day, anything that is your favorite exercise and you look forward to it. So do it for the initial first 2 months and see if you can ramp it up from there, and do not stress your body. So in case say you did not get sleep for one night, skip exercise that day. You do not need to stress yourself. I think it's just more counterproductive than forcing your body to do it. One day you're feeling super sore, you really don't want to work out, just let it go. Rest for one day. Nothing will happen if you do not work out for a day. So take your own sort of pace when it comes to exercise. Another thing in terms of exercise that I would recommend is take up a hobby. So if you like dancing, if you like playing a sport, like my husband and I really like playing badminton together. So once a week we usually go for a badminton session, and it's really enjoyable. So you end up doing the cardio and you end up enjoying something that you really like. It could be anything: swimming, yoga, Pilates, any sort of hobby, but it should obviously involve movement. The last thing, point number 8, is managing your cheat meals. I am a complete foodie, and for me to be healthy and eat healthy all the time is very difficult. So I realized that my favorite thing is pani puri or fuchka that we Bengalis say, and I would keep one day in a month to either go have raj kachori or fuchka or any sort of chaat. Very simple meal. I'd probably go to Haldiram, but celebrate that day. My husband would take a video, I would take a photo, I would post it on social media, but really just enjoy the feeling. I would take, I think, 30-40 minutes just to have that one raj kachori, and I really enjoyed that day. So make sure that you have your cheat meal sort of incorporated into the whole program that you undertake, and it's really going to help you survive all the months that you have to be part of this. Over the span of 1 year, I eventually lost around 15-17 kilos, and I touched around 69 kgs from 85, which I thought was a super achievement. And then reality hit. I had my wedding, I had my honeymoon, we had gone to Phuket and Krabi, and the food was so delicious. I was having dessert for breakfast. Every day it was ice cream day, chocolate day, chips, burgers, everything unhealthy. And once we came back to India, the trend just continued. I think I kept celebrating life, and it just spiraled out of control. So now I've gained a lot of that weight back, and again I'm trying to sort of look at my mistakes and how to get back to my original weight. And I've realized that weight loss is a lifestyle change. It's not just something that you can do for a few months and then you take that as an opportunity to get back to your old habits. So that is something that you need to be wary of. If you are somebody who's planning to lose weight, planning to lose fat, etc., just remember that you have to do it all your life. And that is something that I knew, but I skipped remembering, and I think that is what has brought me here again. So this, if you had to pinpoint one takeaway from this video, I think this is what it is. Weight loss and health is a lifestyle change, and you should be ready to do it because it has a lot of rewards. You can be active, you can take up more than one activity during the day, you can do a lot more, you feel confident from inside. So definitely give it your best shot. And I think that is what I wanted to share with all of you. And now that I'm again trying to lose weight, 2025 is again when I want to sort of get back into shape exactly the way I want to. I will be sharing my updates on Reels regularly, probably monthly once. So be on the lookout. Thank you so much, and see you next week.